Frankie here, and today we try to record an audiobook. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time and meaning to do. You know, I've done a lot of research, and to be honest, there's just not a lot of information out there about how to do this. So I'm just gonna take a crack at it this afternoon. It's a Saturday, my girlfriend's out of town. It's the perfect time to just dim the lights, focus in, and get comfortable and read this book out loud. It's very difficult today, especially this weekend, because I've got the Masters on in the background. I've got the Mariners are playing here tonight. You've got Game of Thrones tomorrow, so you know I got to pack in all the fan theories and videos this weekend. But we can do this, and I just wanted to document the process a bit because there's not a lot of interesting, good information out there on how to record your very own, very first audiobook. And one thing I did find out is that you can pay people online through the interface. You can have somebody record it for you, but they get half the royalties. I'm not about giving away 50% of the royalties. I watch a lot of Shark Tank, not a good decision in the long term. The other thing I read in researching was people like to hear the author read the book. So I think it makes perfect sense. It's just a couple hours, so I got my mic set up. I got Game of Thrones in the background for when I'm on a break. I got the Masters. I've got all kinds of stuff ready. I've got plenty of water and hydration, and we're just gonna rock it and make it happen today. Here goes nothing. All right, so we're just gonna jump into GarageBand is how I'm gonna do this. Select new project. You got keyboard collection, amp collection, voice, hip hop, electronic hip hop. That is a very specific project. I could do hip hop. It's called the Money Resolution. I got a solution to all your money problems. I'm gonna solve them. Whoa, that's actually pretty good. Let's just stick to audiobook. Not an option, by the way. All right, choose a track type. Record using a microphone. Yes, but we are not plugged in. We should probably do that first. By the way, you don't need both of these, I don't think. We got a pop filter and a foam thingy, official name. I probably only need one, and if you're wondering what these do is these help reduce the pop. So I picked up this mic for, I think it was $60, $70 on Amazon. Brand is unknown. I'll link it below. I've recorded with this a couple times on podcasts, etc., and I think it sounds fantastic. It was recommended to me. This arm, there's lots of different arms on Amazon as well, and these things run you only, I don't know, $15. They're super cheap. They clamp onto the side of the table. I was debating between a couple. I ended up going with this one only because it's a little bit longer than some of the other ones, and I have a really long, kind of deep desk here, so I will also link this one below in the description. The other thing I learned just kind of researching is you're not supposed to talk directly into it. I actually saw some people recording where it was down and facing up, and they kind of read and looked this way, so you're not talking directly into it. I think that can just be a little bit harsh on the audio. And if you want to raise your voice through the book, you should take a step back to do some yelling, or maybe not yelling, but you get the idea. And if you want to whisper or something quieter, you want to get a little bit closer, but again, you don't want to whisper directly into it. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is test, and it said initializing audio, which is good, and it looks like I see the little green line moving back and forth on my screen, so I can tell it's picking up audio from the microphone within GarageBand. And by the way, you wanna select voice project. So now what I wanna do is just test before we go into it, make sure that there's no weird echo or background noise that's disrupting. So let's just go ahead and hit record. Recording first test. I wish I had something cooler to say than the word test. All right, let's play that back. Here we go. Don't hear anything. Not a good start. Okay, I figured it out. You have to go into settings, devices, output settings should be set to system setting. Input device, ATR USB microphone, the name of this microphone. So make sure you have it set up like that. It actually flipped both input and output device to the microphone, so it was trying to play out of the microphone, is why I didn't hear it. Okay, first lesson learned. You know what I didn't mention going into this is I didn't sleep very well last night, so I'm already really tired. It's 1:20 p.m. and I haven't even started reading, and reading is what I do to wind down and go to bed. So this should be interesting. Okay, so I've been playing around with the tool, and as much as I thought, you can't just hit record and go for it. You actually kind of can. You have your different stacks of projects on the left in the same file. And what I found out is you can just record them all there. Everything will be vertical on top of each other, not like when I'm editing a movie and they're kind of stacked side by side. So chapter 1 will be on top of chapter 2, chapter 3. When you go, now I can hear myself talk. I would actually say just get going, just make sure it's kind of honed in on narrative vocal, I guess. Just test the sound back and forth a couple different times. Outside of that, I'm just gonna go for it. Why not? Jump in, the water's warm. Okay, so one neat feature that I totally recommend that I just found is the monitoring button. And so when you have that active, you're hearing back in your headset, and I recommend having one off. There's a plane going overhead. So that was good. So that was, what this allows is that you can hear if there's any background noises while you're recording. So that actually might come in handy a lot, because if I hear like this tapping, it's really loud on my headset. So if I hear anything in the background, the dog rustling, like I said, an airplane overhead, and if I can hear it in my headset, I should just stop recording right there, wait till that noise subsides, and then go from there. So that'll save me some editing time later to have that feedback button active. Feedback button, monitoring button. I sound like such a noob at this, because I am. And we live near the water, so there's gonna be a lot of airplanes. By airplanes, I mean seaplanes. These things seriously land like every 10 minutes right outside of our window. Fun to watch, kind of annoying to hear, especially, when you're recording in your apartment. Even something as innocuous as turning a page, I can hear in the feedback. So that's something really to keep in mind, that as I flip pages, I may want to just stop recording and then start recording after I flip the page. That's super loud. Or is that like cool? Because then you feel like you're turning the page as an audiobook listener. Ow. All right, I realize I'm really just stalling at this point. Let's do this. I don't know where you start. I assume you read the title, subtitle by author, and then you just jump right into acknowledgements. I assume I skipped table of contents, but I will read the dedication. I should probably read all rights reserved, no part of this publication may be reproduced or utilized, and I should read it just like that, right? People like that. I'll just go right into the preface and go from there. Unique New York. Wet the whistle. Oh, it's a weird saying. Quick pro tip I just thought of: instead of the rustling of papers, I'm gonna pull up on my screen the ebook version and read from there. So that way I can just hit the silent next arrow when I come to a page break. Genius, right? Who needs this anyway? It's fine. I feel like you're supposed to stretch the vocal cords. Don't know what that means. I assume it's this. Stretch. Ugh. You ever say stretch when you stretch? Ugh, stretch. Ugh. Super satisfying. Here we go. The Money Resolution: 101 Ways to Save Money, Make Money, and Get Out of Debt in 1 Year, by Frankie Calkins. Acknowledgements. I wish to thank and acknowledge Claire Sander, Louis Sander, Alfonso Dueñas, and Rebecca Ray for their thoughtful help and support. That's my girlfriend, her brother, and my friends. Thanks, guys. You probably noticed by now, this isn't so much a how-to video. This is more just behind the scenes of how I did it and what it looked like. And also, live from New York. It's Saturday night. Getting a little delirious, I'm not gonna lie.